Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to have a look at Tesla to see what's going on with Tesla. So this is a daily chart of Tesla. You can see that it had a brutal sell-off from September timeframe to end of December. But from the beginning of this year, it started to form a base and then move higher. So what you see happen is that Tesla has now recovered 100% of this decline. So if I just draw a line here, right here, you can see that it has now recovered 100% of the December decline. And the momentum during this has started to increase, but it accelerated after the company reported earnings. Obviously, the street liked the earnings, and so they started buying it. If you look at the momentum indicators, look at MACD. It crossed right here, and then it's been rising, and it has now crossed above the zero line. See, last time MACD did something like this, you'd have to come right here. You can see that, so this is what? This is May. After the May sell-off, MACD started to move higher, and this is when it crossed above the zero line. And since then, you can see that MACD has been, very weak. Now MACD is moving higher, and it's now above the zero line. This is very positive. This is positive. If you look at RSI also has been moving higher. It has now gone above the 50 line. This black line is the 50 line. You see, since I'll just draw a line right here, right about here. See, right here. So the daily RSI fell below this 50 level, which is this black line right here, in September, and it stayed below the 50 level until it crossed above it in the third week of January. So this is quite positive. RSI is above. The longer it stays above 50, the more relevant it becomes. And what that basically means is that it can start to build on that momentum and move its way higher. You can see stochastic is also above the 50 level. So on a daily basis, all three momentum indicators are positive. Now, if I look at the moving averages right now, so we've got three moving averages. The black one is the 200-day simple moving average. The green one is the 20 exponential, and the yellow one is the 50 EMA. You can see that the moving averages from about September onwards, they were moving lower. But now what's happening is that they've now started to curl, and looks like they are starting to move higher. So this is definitely a change in trend, because it was clearly in a downtrend. Now you can see that it's clearly making a U-turn right here and wants to move higher. And this is because the price has now gone above the 20 and 50 EMA. During this time, price was below the 20 and EMA. You can see the 20 EMA acted as a resistance. So now I would expect these two moving averages to provide dynamic support level. So, but because of the big run up, and because it's now at an area of resistance, I think there is an opportunity for some consolidation, for some pullback. So let's talk about the various levels that we should be paying attention to. Now, from a moving average point of view, the two moving averages right here, they will act as an area of support. So right now they're around 160. The yellow one is around 160. The green one is around 157. So these will act as an area of support on any pullback. But let's look at some horizontal support and levels that we should be looking out for. So I'm just going to hide it for a second. Let's bring in the horizontal support and resistance levels. So I'm just going to magnify this so we can have a look at it. So you'll see that this line, which is about 200, this is an important level. You can see there was a resistance here, there was a resistance here, there was a support here. So this is going to be an important level, 200. You can see on Friday it traded as high as 199, and then it sold off a little bit. So on the upside, this would be a level to watch. Now, if it's able to get through this level, the next area would be this level, which is around 220. But in between this, there will be, the midpoint of these two, which is around 210. That would also act as an area of resistance, but the key resistance would be this level, 220. So the first 200, then 220. And on this downside, it's this level right here, which is around 180. You can see this green candle found resistance at that level. The high of this red candle found resistance. You can see this candle acted as found a resistance at this level. You can see a number of candles interacted with this level. So 180 would be a support area on any kind of pullback. So that would be the first level I would be watching out for. And then the next level would be this one, which is around 160. You can see that from here, it gapped up all the way up to here. This candle low interacted with this level. Also, if I bring in the moving averages, you can see the moving averages are also around this level. So this 160 would also be another important level. So watch out for 180, watch out for 160 on the downside, 200 on the upside, and 220. Now let's have a look at on a slightly higher time frame just to see what the technical picture looks like. So next I'll look at it on a 2-day basis. Each bar candle represents 2 days of trading activity. You can see that the momentum indicators are also in positive territory. You can see RSI is above 50, stochastic is above the 50 level. MACD hasn't yet crossed above the zero line, but you can see MACD is moving higher. So have a look at this time frame, which is mid-June. You can see that MACD had crossed and moved above the zero line. So if it's able to do something like this, then I would expect higher prices ahead. So even on a 2-day basis, I'm seeing more positive things than negative. Now obviously MACD is not yet above the zero line. If that happens, then indicators would all be in positive territory. If I look at the weekly chart next, you see that if you look at the RSI is just below the 50 level, this black line right here. So for the weekly momentum indicators to become positive, you want to see RSI above 50. So we're not there yet. So we need a little bit more work, for it to become positive. You can see stochastic has started to move higher. It hasn't crossed the 50 level yet. You can see 50 level acted as a resistance right here. It acted as a support right here. So this is an important area for stochastic. If it crosses above the 50 level, that would be positive. MACD, because of the sharp sell-off, it fell, all the way down to this level. I mean, you haven't seen MACD at this level weekly for a very long time. If you go to the left, you don't see MACD that deep in below the zero line. So MACD would need quite a bit of work, but you can see that it has now crossed. So what we need to see is that it needs to keep rising and eventually get back above the zero line. When that happens, then MACD would be in positive territory. So it looks like that it has made some improvement on a weekly basis, the momentum indicators, but it needs more work. If I look at the moving averages, you can see that, so if I just hide the lines, you can see that it has now reclaimed the weekly 20 simple moving average. It has closed just above the weekly, the 20. The 50 EMA is up here. So it looks like on a weekly basis, there is more work that needs to be done. But at least it's making, move in the right direction. So if RSI, see this MACD will take the longest. It will take the longest time to get back above the zero line. But what you want to see is RSI and stochastic. If they can get back above their respective 50 level, that would mean that the momentum is improving. And over time, you then expect MACD to get back above the zero line. You want MACD to be above the zero line on a weekly basis. Something like this. That's when you can expect to see, positive price action. So we're not there yet. But if I look at the daily and the 2 day, I see more positive things than negative. So I would look for positive outcomes, but I would watch out. I would keep an eye very closely, only because on a weekly basis the momentum indicators are not yet in positive territory, which means that on a daily basis, some of the good things can get reversed. But at least for now, the bias is to the upside. But look for some consolidations and profit taking, only because it has gone up, almost like 100%. It was around $100 all the way up to 200. So overall, I would say things are looking better, but more work needs to be done. But I like what I see on a daily basis from momentum indicators. Well, thank you very much for watching the video.